What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another superstar from the sport of mixed martial arts. Today we get to talk to Joshua Van, who's 11-2 and has a big fight coming up here at UFC 310 on December 7th. The fight takes place here in Las Vegas. It is a pay-per-view, and the main event is in his weight class. Alexander Pantoja will be defending against Kai Asakura. Now, Joshua's Van, his opponent will be Cody Brundage. Cody Durden. I apologize. How you doing, Joshua? Good to hear from you, man.
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm doing great right now.
Do you like being on the same card as the champ, by the way?
I mean, I don't really mind. I don't keep up with those things, man.
Really? You don't keep up with MMA?
No, not really.
So
You
I
know,
just informed you that Alexander Pantoja is the champ, or did you at least know that?
I mean, I know that for sure, but
Did
like,
you know he was fighting Kaya Sakura?
yeah, I know that. Yes, sir.
Oh, what? How come you're not attracted to the sport that you're so good in?
I mean, I just like to focus on myself. You know what I mean? I like watching my own fight, and then just train, focus on me, and then you know what I mean, just win the fight. That's it.
Did you watch 309, UFC 309?
Yes, I did. I watched the co-main and the main event.
You didn't miss anything. The rest
Yeah.
of the card was not that good anyway. So maybe you actually have the best foresight here when it comes to watching MMA. But it's our job. We got to watch them all. And the reason I think it's important is because you're 11-2, you're 4-1 in the UFC, and so you could very easily pick up steam, and all of a sudden we're talking about Alexander Pantoja against Joshua Van, right? But the one thing that's important is to be on the same timeline. But sometimes, every once in a while, stuff goes down, and if someone's not ready to step up, the UFC makes decisions. You know what I'm saying? And so, who knows if they could turn to Joshua Van in an instance like that? I might be reaching a bit because you're not ranked second, third, or fourth, or nothing like that, right? But it's pretty important to be on the same timeline as the champ.
Yeah, soon I'll be ranked enough. You know what I mean? Probably next year.
Mhm.
Even with this fight, I'm a enter the top 15. You know what I mean? And then maybe one more fight, top 10 or top five. So we getting there for sure.
The UFC rankings, I looked at them, and you're not in them. You were in ours up until you took that L before the last fight. So you have been in the rankings before, and like I say, you have the ability to move up because 4-1 is a nice UFC record, 11-2 is a nice overall record. But the important thing is you shook off that loss with a big win at the show at the Sphere. How important was that win for you to regain confidence, get a little swag back?
You know, it was like the loss never take off the confidence. You know what I mean? Just because I know what I did wrong in the fight, and that's the reason why. Like when they called me for the fight, I'm like, you know what I mean? I was like, let me take this fight because I know what I did wrong and I know what I can fix on. And you know what I mean. And then the last fight that I just won, it was important, man. You know what I mean. Getting back on the win column, that's uh that's what everybody wanting.
That was a quick turnaround, about 2 months, but you did it. But I did want to ask you, did any part of you have um any doubts that maybe you were being set up for the Mexican fighter to shine? Because they built the fight card so that I think some or maybe all the Mexican fighters would have a good chance of showing off, right? Or winning or doing well. But did you ever take it like that? Like maybe have a chip on your shoulder?
I mean, that probably the reason why they call me. And I was thinking like probably because they want an exciting fight too, you know. But you know what I mean. Thank God we came out victorious.
You sure did, man. All right. Let me turn it over to Goes. He's got some questions for you, and then I'll come in with some silliness playing off your last name, Van. I've been doing my research on Vans, and I got some ideas for you going forward when you become a contender, maybe even fighting for the main scrap one day. All right, Goes. What do you have for our guest, Joshua Van?
Well, on the same topic of the Sphere card, it was such a massive card. To come back down from that, what was that like? And then what is it going to be like to go where there's not a giant screen right behind you? Like, you think that'll be weird at all?
Uh, you know what I mean. Fighting in the spear, it make no difference for me because I don't know if I fight if it's because I fight on the prelim or something. Because they say it was a little different, like the main card and then the prelim was a little different. So like for me, you know what I mean. For a fighter, it was just like you in the locker room and then you in the cage, and then you go back to the locker room. So it ain't no different for me. So yeah,
You
every fight is
you
the same basically.
you said it yourself. The UFC knows you put on exciting fights. You've helped them out on short notice before. Do you feel like you carry a little bit of an ace up your sleeve where maybe one day you can pull that one out and say, look, man, I'd really like to fight here and against this person?
You know that probably the reason why they gave me Cody too. You know when I call him out and stuff. So I think the UFC recognized that I'm their guys. So yeah.
Career wise, I would imagine the best thing is to get in there, get the job done quick, be healthy, be able to
Mhm.
fight soon. But we're so used to you in these great fights, and you have this fun fighter style for the fans to watch. Do you like those types of fight, those knockout, drag them out fights? Is it just kind of fun to be able to say you've been parts of those and have that history on your fight record?
I mean, you know, the goal is to knock them out as fast as possible. You know what I mean? We don't get paid for overtime, but you know what I mean. I'm excited to be in those type of fight too. So those type of fight is what hyping me up for the camp and everything. You know.
How does Cody stand out over other guys that you've fought before? He's when we heard the matchup, we were all excited. We thought this is going to be fireworks. What do you see when you look at Cody?
Man, he's a tough guy. He's a very, very tough guy. You know, skill wise, he's not all that, but he got heart. He'll come forward, and I'll come forward. So this fight is gonna be straight up banger.
I liked hearing skill wise, he ain't all that. I'm just wondering if he hears that, if he'll go, "Oh, bitch, why are you trying to clown me?" or something like that. But that was hilarious. Hey, where did you get the nickname Fearless? Was it when you were younger? Did a coach give it to you, or a family member? Where'd that come from?
It's just when I used to fight in the smoker, this guy used to call me the Savage, and you know what I mean. I don't like being called the Savage, so I keep asking my coach to give me a new nickname, and that he was taking his time. So one day I was watching a fight. I was watching a show, and I
Hmm.
see this Regner the Fearless, and I like the name, the Fearless, and then I was looking at my fighting style and stuff. So I was like, you know what, let me go with that. So I got my own self this nickname.
Were you ever fearless as a young kid? Like, um, you were the guy that, as a freshman in high school, would walk up to a senior and start a fight, or you're the guy that would, you know, get on his bike and try and do some stunts that no one else would do? Like, did you also have that fearless gene about you as well, or?
See, when it come to fighting, I'm always fearless. You know what I mean? Different aspect, I don't really know because I'm scared of height, I'm scared of needle and all that shit. So, but when it comes to fighting, man, I'll fight anybody. You know what I mean? The people that know me, the people that I go to high school with, people that I hang out with, they know that I love fighting. So, uh, when it comes to fighting, man, I'm fearless.
Hmm. Do you have any stories that where, as a freshman, you socked up a senior?
A lot of stuff, bro. A lot of fights, man.
All right, tell
Uh,
us one. Let's go. You can't get in any trouble. That was years ago. What happened? Tell us.
fighting over stupid stuff. Like I just go to school just to pick on a fight. You know what I mean? Just because I came from a foreign, so I don't really know how to speak English. So when you get into a fight in school, like people give you respect. You know what I mean? Even though you can't speak English and stuff like that. So uh, those are my main thing, man. Trying to get attention out of people. So I'll just go into class, me mucking everybody. You know what I mean? So when they look at me the wrong way, I just be like, "Let's go." And now,
Okay, so you got ahead of the game. Rather than going to class and having some guy make fun of you for not speaking English, you already knew you were going to get made fun of. Therefore, you walked into class mean mugging.
yeah,
They'd get in a fight, you send a message, and then no one would bug you the rest of the year.
yeah. But I forgot to mention I did get bullied. That's the reason why I started doing that too. You know what I mean? So
Oh, you did get bullied. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when I first got here, you know what I mean? Like middle school, man, kid are mean, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Oh, okay. But the rest of the time, every time you went to a new school, you just wanted to kind of send a message.
Yeah, and you know how Asian parents they don't like you getting in trouble, so I have to move every year, so I gotta fight more often each year and stuff like that. So yeah.
Hmm. How would the fight end? Was it martial arts, or was it just the streets? You grabbing your book
Nah,
or
hell no. Like me, I like watching street fight or school fight and stuff like that. So I actually
Mhm.
try it on those. You know, next time I fight people, like I try something I see on YouTube or whatever. So thank God I ain't never lost a fight, man.
Oh yeah,
And
you undefeated on the streets?
yeah,
Nice.
except one time when I was fighting this dude, man, he was big as hell. We was fighting for like 5 minutes. I was out of shape, throwing up. I was like, "You win."
Where was the
I
fight?
be, huh?
Where was the fight?
What was the fight?
Yeah, where was the fight with the guy that you threw up?
Man, I took his girl, and you know what I mean. He was like, "Let's meet up, let's fight, or whatever." And
Hmm.
I was like, "You know what? I ain't no bitch." So we go pull up. We fight for like a
Like at the
minute, and
park?
then
Where was it? At the park, or where was it?
it
The
was
beach?
like by the laundry. It was in Iowa too. And then you know what I mean. This white guy was, I'm gonna call the cops. So we moved to the next place, and then we fight for like 5 minutes. His face was all cut up. I beat the shit out of him, but he won't stop coming at me. So I was like, you know what? You
You
win.
win.
And then
Does
I
that
just
mean
shake his
did
hand.
you get the girl back, or did you keep the girl?
You know what? I don't even know about that girl no more, man. After that fight, so I was like, yeah,
Was the
Nice.
advantage that you guys were close to the laundry, so he could take off his bloody shirt and get it washed?
I don't know. He said he want to meet up someplace, so he sent me the Addy. We just go pull up.
Did you ever see him again for
No,
part two? Or
that was the first and last time I see. He wasn't even went to our school, so you know what I mean. He was some
Mm.
other guys that date high schooler. I don't know.
You realize he has a good story. One day he's going to be watching your fight, and he's going, wait a minute, I beat that guy. I beat that guy because you
Yeah,
said
but
you won
his face
technically.
would say otherwise. You know what I mean?
Well, no, you're right. You're right. The face would say otherwise. Anybody that was there would say, "Nah, you were getting your ass kicked." But technically, you said you won, so he can at least brag about that W. Kind of like Matt Hamill gets that win over John Jones for that illegal 12-6 elbow about 15 years ago.
That was
But
crazy.
all right, let's close with this. One day, when the fighters are in the big fights and they show them when they're getting off the whatever vehicle they're in, right? And they
Mhm.
walk into the arena. You ever see that?
Yeah, yeah,
That'd be cool if one day you came up in a cool pimped out van and then just kind of lowered and then you came out, and the van said something cool, had some cool colors. I'm sure you know some people that can do some, pretty nice artistic stuff or whatever. Hopefully you can play off that name or whatever. I've seen some
hell yeah.
cool vans on the streets.
That'd be badass, bro. Hopefully when I get to headline an event or something, you know what I mean? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, don't get off
Like,
that plain white van that the UFC gives you. Come up with something cool instead of spending money on the Airbnb and all that. Get yourself a cool van. Wherever city you go in, you just go to the custom auto place and say, "You guys got a van? All right, that's the one I'm gonna roll in all week."
Hmm.
hell yeah, that's nice. That'd be
Maybe
crazy, man.
like a sponsorship too, like with vans. I know there's an NFL player named Montez Sweat, and he got a
Mm.
sponsorship with Old Spice deodorant. So I don't see how you can't get some vans.
Hey,
That'd be some cool.
hey, let me know, man. I'm looking for sponsors.
All right.
That's awesome. Um, you're fighting late this year, and we're gonna start asking the question to a lot of fighters next year: how many times do you want to fight this year? So same thing with you. You're
Mhm.
gonna fight here in December, but what do you want the future to be? Do you want to fight twice a year, 3 times a year? What's realistic for you to get on the map? Here's why I ask, because your
Mhm.
division is rather shallow. So I think if you can get on some sort of a roll, we could be talking about a title shot sooner than other divisions. Like it took Bilal Muhammad 10 fights to get a title shot. Murad Dvalishvili 10 fights to get a title shot. I think in this division, if you have like a 3-fight win streak, 4-fight win streak, you can get in there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Like next year is gonna be the takeover. You know what I mean? If it go as the plan, I want to stay active at least 5 fight to 6 or 6. That'd be crazy. You know what I mean? That'd be amazing. So I just want to stay active next year. We would probably finish with this fight this year, and then probably hop back on like January card, or if not February, and then we start active from there.
Are you popular in Myanmar?
I would hope so. I hope so. You know what I mean? From what my family told me, and my family that still live there, a lot of people know me. So I would hope I was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Ong Lasong was pretty popular when he was double champ over at One Championship.
Yeah.
So it seemed like the country really got behind him. That's why I was wondering if the country has other athletes that they get behind, like yourself. Maybe it's good to
I
hear
mean,
that.
the people of Myanmar, man, they support our own. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
even on, man, if I need something, like I'll hit him up, and then he would just reply me like instant. You know what I mean? He talk to me and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
So we look after our own, man.
That's cool. All right, Joshua, thanks so much for the time here on today's MMA Junkie Radio show. And I wish you the best of luck with the rest of the camp you have for this big fight coming up against Cody Durden on December 10th. December 7th, UFC 310. Same night as Alexander Pantoja and Kaya Sakura. By the way, are there other fights on flyweights on this fight card? Do you know? Or is it just you guys?
I think that's just I think that's two of us. I think.
Joshua, you may want to weigh 125 that night or at your weigh-ins.
What?
Just in case.
You may want to weigh 125 at the weigh-ins.
Oh,
You're gonna try and make 126, right?
Hell yeah.
But no, I'm serious. I don't want to jinx the card, but Kaya Sakura hasn't competed at 125 in a long time.
I heard.
So if he doesn't make it, but you do, you could get a title shot. You've won 4 of 5 fights. Stranger things might happen. So if I were you, I'd try and make 125. Have you thought of that?
I mean, for me, it's easy weight cut. So you know what I mean. If they tell me something, man, I'll be more than happy to make that weight, and you know what I mean, run it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll keep our eyes open for it and see what happens, because, like I say, stranger things have happened. And if you guys are the only other flyweights, and I don't see any other flyweights, I don't have my glasses here, but I don't see any other flyweights. Now he's coming off a win just like you, but he's coming off 2 losses before that. So I think you have more of the better resume right now.
Yeah. Who you talking about? Cody?
Cody.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, he coming off out of 2 losses?
No, he just won his last fight, just like you. But before that, he had 2 losses.
Okay.
You had the 1 loss. So,
Yeah.
but like I say, you have a 4-1 record overall. It's your only UFC loss. So I would think the UFC would choose you, but I'm not trying to jinx it. I like Asakura. I respect him. But like I say, what's real is real. And this is his first time, in the UFC debuting at 125. That's a lot of pressure. And we've seen stranger things happen, man.
Yeah,
that's how Joe Soto got his title shot against TJ Dillashaw, if I'm not mistaken. He was debuting in the UFC. This was years ago, but if you look it up, Joe Soto, same thing. He was just on the card, but he made the weight, and that's how he got his title shot.
Shit, that'd be crazy, man. Let's pray for it. You know what I mean? Make it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if the fight does happen in Vegas, well, I guess it'd be too late by then.
There?
But
y'all gonna be there live?
Us?
Yeah.
We do what's called watch-alongs, but we'll be around fight week. So
okay.
Yeah. Venmo the money over, and we'll get you a cool van. I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean? For sure. I'll hit you up.
All right, then. Take care, buddy. Good talking to you.
All right, man. Y'all have a great one.